Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kudash. I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the head apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well, and also Shalom and salutations to the fellow brethren and fellow laborers that are laboring in this work as well. So I'm back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, with another quick lesson. And this lesson that I'm going to be getting into, is going to be basically um, speaking about hell, the misconception of hell, the cunningly devised fable, the stronghold that is basically has grabbed the minds, of everybody in the world, which is a lie. The fact that, when you die, you have this uh, choice between heaven and hell, uh, and your works on the earth, they decide whether you go to heaven or hell, which is where your spirit dwells forever, after you die. But that's a lie. There's no such thing, first and foremost, as a heaven or a hell. You know, even spirits don't stay in the spirit world forever. You see, but what destroys that cunningly devised fable is the fact that uh, reincarnation is possible. You know, and reincarnation is not a myth. It's true according to the scriptures, and that's what I'm gonna prove in this lesson. I'm gonna prove that, for one, reincarnation is biblical, and on the other hand, reincarnation actually destroys the misconception of hell. You see? So let me begin here in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 4, because I mentioned how that spirits don't stay in the spirit world forever, but they recycle, hence the word reincarnation. You know, re meaning back, in is just in, and incarnation is flesh, so back in the flesh. That's what the word reincarnation means, back in the flesh. you know and for something to go back, it would have to go in a cycle. You see, you start at one point and you uh, go through the whole cycle and end up at that same point where you begun. You see, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, one generation passeth away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. That in itself proves reincarnation, how that the fact that generations recycle. But one thing that doesn't change is the earth, which abides forever. Oh, but the things on the earth, they recycle. And it's going to get into it. This is verse 5. It says, the sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteneth to his place where he arose. So the sun, also has a cycle that it goes through. It rises in the east, sets in the west every day. That's a cycle, and that's the same with life. You're born an infant, and then you go through your adolescence, your teen years, your adults, so on and so forth, until you age, and then you die. You see, but once you die, you get sent back, and that same cycle goes on over and over for many generations. Hence, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh. You see, verse 6, it says, the wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. So even the wind has a circuit. It begins somewhere and it ends somewhere. It begins somewhere and it ends, and it also starts up again where it started. Um, verse 7, and it reads, "All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again." You see, so even water, the water on the earth, they have a cycle. Oh, even in science class, they taught you that, man. Evaporation, how that steam, it's actually water that actually goes up from. There's actually a cycle of water. You know how it gets evaporated from the ground, from the earth up, and then rain gets sent back by rain, and that cycle goes on over and over and over. So this is just going to prove that reincarnation is in the scriptures. Something as simple as a cycle, the cycle of life, your birth, your death. That's the cycle of life, and it repeats over and over, just as how the sun rises and the sun sets, man. You know, but I'm gonna get more in depth proving this. You see, so let's jump here to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 7, and it reads, shall the dust, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. So the dust will be basically symbolic to your body. We're made out of dust. And what proves that is that minerals in the ground, we have the same minerals uh, on our body as the ground, You see, so that's that dust that it's talking about. So when you die, what happens? Your body turns into dust and it returns back to the earth as it was, where it was taken from, But it goes on to say, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. So your spirit doesn't die, you know. That's another thing that can uh, basically fight or disannul the fact that hell is real. You know, the fact that you cannot hurt a spirit, and Yahweh Shai proved that. When he appeared unto his disciples, they were frightened and they supposed that they had seen a spirit, but Yahweh Shai told him not to fear because that wasn't he wasn't in a spiritual form. He said, "A spirit has not flesh and blood as flesh and bones as ye see me have, man." You know, basically prove saying that you cannot hurt a spirit. You know, a spirit doesn't feel the same things we feel if you're in the spirit. So when you die, your spirit returns to the Most High who gave it. It belongs to the Most High and it's gonna go to the Most High. Simple as that. It doesn't go to a person underground with a pitchfork that's ready to torment you for eternity, man. There's no such thing. For one, because a spirit cannot be tormented. A spirit doesn't feel pain the way we feel pain, in the flesh. You see? Uh, so from there, I want to get an account of our forefathers because within the nation of Israel, reincarnation was common knowledge. It was something that wasn't far out. It was a simple concept to us, which once again goes to prove that the high level of knowledge and wisdom that the nation of Israel possessed. Because no other nation knew about this, man. I presume, you might have a 1-2, but the concept was common knowledge within the nation of Israel. If I'm mistaken, if I'm wrong in the statement I just made about other nations not knowing about reincarnation, I can be corrected. I stand corrected. But I'm just proving that how the nation of Israel has the highest level of wisdom on the planet Earth, man. The biggest measure was given unto us. You see, and reincarnation is a part of wisdom. Understanding the cycle of life is a part of wisdom. You see. So I'm gonna prove, for one, how our forefathers understood the concept of reincarnation. You see. So let's go here to the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 22. And to just set the stage here, you have Eleazar, which was our forefather. He was basically forced to eat pork, you know, under the rulership of the Greeks. He was forced to eat pork in front of everybody, but he being a just man, he didn't want to eat that pork because he understood you rather die than to disobey the commandments of Yahweh Shemashah, especially in his old age, you know. So let's pick it up at verse 22 and then we'll get into it, man. It says that in doing so, he might be delivered from death and for the old friendship with them find favor. So if he did eat that pork that they forced upon him, he would be delivered from death, meaning he would escape death, and become friendship with those, the Greeks. Verse 23, it says, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years, the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave, man. So he said, fuck that, I'm not gonna eat the pork. I'd rather die than disobey the commandments of Yahweh Shemashah. You see, it says, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dismember, whereby many young persons might think that Eliezer, being fourscore years old and 10, were now gone to a strange doctrine. So he was a man of status. You see, so if younger brothers were to see that, oh, Eliezer ate pork and he's gone away to a strange, what manner of man is that? That's gonna leave a stain on his name and his honor and his dignity. Which also proves how that the men of the ancient world, they were men of honor, man. You know, they had integrity on a high level, man. You see, because they cared about the things that came with their names. You know, verse 25 it reads, and so they truly and so they through mine hypocrisies and desire to live a little time in a moment longer should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable, because it was an honor to be of an old age, because that's uh, wisdom, to have gray hairs and so on and so forth. Verse 26, it reads, for though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. You see, so this is heavy because look, he understood reincarnation. That's why he made this statement. He said, for though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men. So meaning uh if he dies, he's gonna get a straight judgment, a quick death. Meaning he's not gonna be tortured, it's gonna be a quick 1-2, boom, a quick transition. So he's delivered from the punishment of men, you know. But he said, yet should I not escape the hand of Yahweh Shemashai Almighty, neither alive nor dead. You see, so he understood that if he rather die for the commandments of Yahweh Shemashai, rather to fall into the hands of the Lord, man, dead or alive. You see? Why did he say dead or alive? Because he understood that even, oh, matter of fact, let me get this real quick in the book of Matthew 10 and 28. It reads, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. You see, so he didn't fear them that were able to kill the body only, but they weren't able to kill the soul, meaning they can only go as far as killing him, and that's it. His body, afflicting his body, that's it. But aren't able to even touch his soul. And then it goes on to say here, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. You see, so this is the same thing that Eliezer is basically saying, man. So he's saying he'd rather fear Yahweh Shemashai because the Lord is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And this proves that reincarnation is in the Bible. Why? I'm gonna break it down. You see, because um, for one, a soul cannot be destroyed. You see, a soul cannot be destroyed, but a body can be destroyed. You see, but how can the Lord destroy your soul? By sending it back into a body that's full of what? Uh, disabilities, man. You know, so that's what Eliezer feared, because the Lord was able to plague, your soul and that body. That's the Lord being able to what? Destroy the body and the soul. But Esau can't do that. He can only go as far as hurting the body. You know, but the Lord can do both. Meaning, He can send you back that spirit that went to him. He can send it back, the form, crooked, retarded, so on and so forth. You see, and that's why Eliezer basically feared Yahweh Shemashai rather than men, man. You see, and that proves reincarnation, man. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I'm gonna close off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Machak, Dash. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the head apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well, and shalom and salutations to the fellow brethren and fellow laborers that are laboring in this work as well. Until next time, shalom.